All right, guys, what is going on? What is Gucci Gang? Welcome to Friday, FAFO Friday, if you'd like. Who do we got? Who is in here, big dog? Hmm? Who is ready to learn? Who's ready to review? Who's ready to watch? Ready to do whatever else? I don't know. I do not know. Has been an interesting week, though. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. You guys agree? There's the last few days, I think excuse me. I think I said this yesterday. There's this sort of like fickleness in the markets this week where we're just seeing like divergences everywhere. We're seeing lows left open, we're seeing highs left open. We're just seeing a bunch of stuff left open. Schedule your live to switch to members only. Oh, I could. There's a new button. I can turn the members only live stream. Oh, okay. This isn't a members only live stream though, right? It's public, I think. I don't think I changed it. Yeah, it should be public. Should be public. What's good? Capitalist, Mark, Eminem, Willow, Flacco, Mason, MJ, Naruto, Ebernith, Roger, Sergio, Marius, Scott, Fernando. Tell me, what have you thought of this week so far? Has it been a little bit difficult? Has it been easy? Has it been boring? Has it been fun? Has it been... What has it been? Scott said, not good for me at all. What do you think it was, Scott? What do you think it was? Us leaving highs open, leaving lows open, maybe like... What do you think it is? We'll start on the daily time frame. We'll start with that because I feel like that's a good place to start. Did bad at the beginning of the week, doing better at the end of it. That's good. Tested my patience and showed me not to force trades, MJ. Yeah, you don't want to force trades. That you will learn quickly. You will learn that quickly. It only takes getting burned like once or twice to go, okay, maybe this ain't it. Maybe this ain't it. Learning and journaling, Willow, love to see that. Difficult, took a few days off. No worries there. No worries. Strange week. What's good, Lewis? Difficult to frame, high probability setups. Yeah. Trading all-time highs are tough sometimes. Yeah. Was good, H. But that's out of my control, says Mason. Okay. So let's start on the daily for a minute, okay? For today, at least. Remember Tuesday, right? And I despised how we left the highs up here. I absolutely despised it. On like a 15-minute, 1 hour, whatever, there's some very clean highs up here. It's gross. But nonetheless, the market does what the market does. Tuesday traded lower. Wednesday traded lower. Thursday traded a lot lower. And usually, not every time, but usually when we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as consecutive, what does that typically mean for a Friday? Let me rephrase that. If Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday were all consecutively lower, what is likely to happen for a Friday? What's good, Marshall? What's likely to happen on Friday if the previous 3 days, sometimes even if it has Monday too, Monday through Thursday? Up, go higher, reversal day, anticipate higher pricing. Friday most likely an up day. Mason said short covering. Mason is over there trying to get gold stars. We haven't given out gold stars in a hot minute. I don't remember if I said that or not. I don't know. Oh, I did. Oh, that's gangster. Okay. Big thuggin'. 852. I said multiple things, actually. I said 6,700 and 6,705 are buy-side levels. That's for ES. 6657 is equal lows, also for ES. And then I also said, given the down days, today might be a reversal day for higher pricing. Look at that. Look at that. What a G. What a G. Okay. In 904, I said it's been a rather fickle few days. So on and so forth. And then, yeah, at 917, NQ has clean highs just like ES, so it's not clear to me right now. Because I think we were also looking for lower ES, which we stopped like 2 ticks shy. That gif from Flacco earlier, that guy beating up the computer with the baseball bat or whatever. Understandable. Welcome back, Shay. Okay. At 11:14, I said retail bear flag here on NQ. Gross. And then at 11:30, I said, yep, hard to tell if NQ wants to run higher or ES wants to go lower. Likely seems like lower probability conditions. Okay, so let's talk about that. So this is why we started off on the daily. If the middle 3 days are lower, and sometimes even if Monday, like Monday through Thursday is lower, Friday may be a reversal day. Okay. So what we can do now is we can pay attention to our open, right? So I got some stuff on here that's going to be hard to see. It's going to be hard to see, but when we go down in time frame, we'll take a look. Now this is just based off of the trading view candle. Top right, middle right. There we go. Okay. Now we can take a look at some stuffs. What's good, twins? Sound like a YN today. Which I am neither. I am not a Y or an N. Anyway, what can you see here? Yeah, y'all think it's funny. Now, that's actually not my joke. I got that joke from someone else because there was when Drewski did that skit about like white people in the hood, right? There was a guy that came out and super old, like 40s or 50s. And, you know, he's, I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but basically it's this older white guy and he's like, oh, I'm a white YN, yada, yada. And then like the top comment was from some chick and she was like, sir, You're neither a Y or an N. That was like the top comment too. It was hilarious. So I finally got a chance to use that. I've been saving that. Timing is everything, right? Anyway, what can you tell me? I already told you a couple things. What can you tell me? This is comedy hour over here on the YouTube channel. So I know it looks a little crowded, but we have our opening range gap at 8:30. Okay, in the regular trading hours, by the way. And that daily candle open, I think, is taken from a slightly different time. But either way, if you want, we can do equities open instead. That'd probably be better. Okay. So our equities open, we had gapped higher, immediately overshot that, rallied higher a couple times, taken out Thursdays, regular trading hours, highs, slammed below those lows. Now, this is what was tricky today, was down here, because keeping the Dow 1 hour potential sell model, right? It was like, oh, we went back into a premium. We might trade lower, right? And then what takes place again here, while NQ is lower, I don't think ES was lower. It was still below its opening range gap a little bit, but it doesn't take sell side and electronic, which is crazy. And then yesterday's PM, like final hour, also had some lows, so we never went for any of that. None of it. So it's like, all right, maybe we leave that open, right? And then during lunch, a little bit later, that's why it was at 11:14, right? 11:14 retail bear flag here on NQ. That was right there. Look at that. Look at that. It's in the Discord. Boom. 11:14. Said, hey, big ol' retail. See that? Big retail bear flag. So, a retail bull flag, probably not something that we want to short. It's probably something that is better to what? Fade to go long. So what that looks like, and I'm starving, dude. I can hear my stomach high-fiving my back right now. Right? We traded out of it back above our opening gap, which at first we saw, you know, some sensitivity. Right? We just couldn't get past our opening gap at all. Right? But then we finally got through it. So what was once bearish may become bullish. So that is where we're at. We did leave the bottom half open. So it seems likely that we kind of look at the bigger picture here. We have potential buy side at current high of day, which is 24,733 and a quarter. And Wednesdays, again, regular trading hours highs are up here at 24,759. So we may end up reaching for that. If we do not, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to expect. Maybe ES comes down for its equal lows. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But we go to electronic for a second. Right. You can see that retail bear flag here had ended up taking London's low as well. Right. And if we come back over here, or if we look over here rather, electronic has some highs up here, which is a little bit of a higher set. So 790s buy side there. See what I mean? So those are basically the next 4 levels. 9 a.m.'s high, pre-market high. I don't remember which one is which. I think the lower set is regular trading hours, and then the higher set is electronic. So we have a few different targets for anyone who is long. But like I said, if we come back to these levels like 620, 600, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what to do here because we got a lot of lows down here. So again, I don't always know. Sometimes the markets are difficult, man. Sometimes you expect a reversal day, right? Oh, we were down all week and then, you know, Friday is here. Okay, great. And then we just never run very, very clean lows. We just make more. Right? So I don't know what to tell you. What's good, Oscar? What's good, Stephanie? Yeah, now we wait. So the only thing I guess I haven't covered is the lines here, and that all that is delineating every hour. That's all that is. So I can kind of see where we're at in the day in relevance to like equities open, right? How much time we have left, so on and so forth. So what do you guys think? Are you guys bullish, bearish, or neither? Let's do a poll. We haven't done a poll in a while. There you go. You can submit your votes. What is it called? Anonymously. There we go. You can vote anonymously. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you neither? You don't have to vote. That'd be a cool requirement. Before you can start watching the stream, you have to vote. I don't know. Which market is that, Stephanie? Writing a consolidating market? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Oscar, I think it would be, but at the same time, people would just pick a vote to get in and wouldn't vote correctly. Now that I think about it. Now that we do some critical thought, which a lot of people don't do. But what would be interesting to me is for us to... I'm not trying to pick like a massive, massive low, but it would be great if this was the divergence with ES that we needed to set the low. And I'm wondering if this ends up being the low risk buy first stage accumulation, and then we launch next week for those highs. That would be pretty cool. But I usually do not try to do that. But it is a thought, though, in the back of my mind. And I would feel bad if I didn't share it and then that panned out. Because then I can't say, oh, remember what we talked about? You know? And again, it's hard for me to justify that because of still those lows on Dow. So, yeah, they've been out of sync for a while. They've been out of sync for a while. Oh, wow. The biggest, out of 21 votes, the biggest decision today was neither. Man. Wow. I would have not guessed that. I would have not guessed that at all. All right, then. All righty, then. Roger said, can't frame a one-sided market. I feel that. Honestly, I do. I feel that. It's like, it's interesting, right? When we consider probabilities, right? You can have a high probability trade, still lose. You can have a low probability trade and still win, you know? But statistically speaking, we want to only trade, we only want to take the trades that are high probability, you know? So you can still frame risk. You can still frame a bias. It just may not be as one-sided as you want it to be, you know? But yeah, I agree. When in doubt, stay out. If you're not willing to put money on it, if you're not willing to put risk on it, then yeah. When in doubt, stay out. Maybe that's why most of you... Oh, it's switched now to bullish, but... Yeah, y'all waited for more candles to start printing higher and then voted bullish. You guys are something else, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just talking nonsense because I have nothing else to say. I mean, I have nothing... Bro, we talked about basically everything already. We talked about what happened this morning. We talked about how we made some lows. We talked about how I told you we have a retail flag pattern down here. And then we just randomly got expansion right after that. And then a retracement and then further expansion. I don't know, man. I don't know. Does it make me undisciplined to not be scared of market conditions where I can frame both sides as long as I follow my risk rules? Let's unpack that for a minute because that's a lot. Does it make me undisciplined to not be scared of market conditions where I can frame both sides as long as I follow my risk rules? If you're not scared, I wouldn't call that undisciplined. I mean, you could be fearless, 100% fearless, and you could take one trade and lose your entire account. You know what I mean? Now that's undisciplined risk management, I'd say. But if you're following your rules, I don't see why that would be undisciplined. I think then it would come down to the quality of the rules that you follow. You know? Like, I've seen people have rules that are just weird and alien to me. Like, I've seen traders purposely cut trades short because they want to be out by a certain time, or they won't enter on certain setups because they want to enter, you know, differently or whatever. And that, again, that's fine. I can't control anybody else's rules, but I've just found what most people do is just strange. Unless it works, then yeah, okay, great. But when you cut trades short, that to me is weird. You know? Now, it's different if it was like, hey, I got to go to work, you know, I got to do this, I got to do that, I can't watch it, you know, so let me do something. Like, okay, I get that, you know, but outside of that, I don't know. People do weird stuff. I don't know, Fernando. I haven't even looked back at the 17th. That was a while ago. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Will. I don't know. You can be willing to trade every single day. Now, every single day may not be worth trading to you, or to me either. Every setup may not be worth taking. There's setups every day, every minute. Every new candle that prints, there's a new setup, you know? They are all not worth taking. You know? The stars have to align for what I believe, what I consider to be proper time, price, and context. You know what I mean? But who knows? Who knows? Okay. So let's see. I was trying to see if that was a higher high. I think it is, but it's a 5-minute chart. I wouldn't put too much into that. Let's go over ES for a minute, because I did say this in the Discord earlier. 6,700 was buy side liquidity in the regular trading hours, and then 67.05 and a quarter, or I may have just said 705 and just rounded down. I don't know, but those are the highs there. So what I found interesting was what we did this morning. We took regular trading hours and then said, okay, reversed it lower. That to me seems engineered. It smells like engineered. You just smell the engineering. You know what I mean? Like, you just breathe in. Smells like an engineered high. It's just like 1 point, 4, maybe 5 ticks, maybe 6 ticks, right below that, and went lower. That smells like an engineered low too at 925. But again, when I look at certain lows and certain highs, you know, which one's engineered, which one's not, I think they both are. But the difference is, where is price? And it's up here. So if you were to tell me, okay, which one is it going to go to? Well, down here, it looked like it was going to trade down here, right, to this low and all these. But like I said, we get the retail flag with NQ, and it just refuses to go lower, so we end up trading higher instead. So it's like, okay, well, if it's not going to trade to that one, and this is going to be left open, then it's probably going to seek this one, which would be in sync with higher NQ. Lower high here, right? So that's how we know that this was manipulation, bigly, right? Bigly. And this here, these highs, was short-term weakness. You know? So just, again, seems to me like we're going to trade higher. But if we fall back into the range and then fizzle out, I'll be wrong. And that's okay. You smell it too, Stephanie? You smell the engineering? Just take a look. Just take a look, right? Maybe a 15 might do it. Might be a little bit better. Now we can see it all. See that lower low down here? That's what I was saying with NQ. If this was our manipulation portion to go up here, right? Distribution, redistribution, manipulation. Hell, I don't know where the lowest buy would be. Probably that, I guess. First stage accumulation, left behind a lot of lows, and then run for that. That ain't gonna do that today. I don't think we're gonna rally another 70 points today. I don't see that happening, but you can see how that makes sense though, right? Seems okay. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. Those highs here and then that one right there is just shy of that. That's weird to me. It's weird. It's suspicious. We don't like suspiciousness, do we? We don't. So anyway, we got 20 likes. We got 50 or no, yeah, 49/50 people. We got 20 likes. Let's see if we can get those likes up. Drop a like on the stream. Let's see if we can get to 25. Let's see if we can have 5 people drop a like on the stream. Doesn't cost you anything. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Okay, this is what we'll do. You ready for this? I have an alert. Excuse me, I don't know if you heard that. I have an alert at 24,733.25 for NQ. I'm not going to put one at our pre-market high because I think if we tag that, we might as well. Let's go back to regular. If we're going to take the pre-market high, we might as well run for that. So 24,759. I have an alert there. And I'll put one more on, which, I don't know, is way up here. I'll put one more there. So that'll be those three. 733, 759, and 793.5. As a potential upside for NQ. And then we'll just do, still got the lows down there, but I'm going to keep that there. We'll do the regular trading hours. We'll take that off, actually, because we've already met that. We'll do 67.0525. That'll be one. I don't have a feeling that we're going to be this bullish. But as always, the market can do anything. As per Mark Douglas. Let me just throw that up there at 67.2875. That seems unlikely to me, but what do I know, chat? What do I know? I'm just some guy. You know what I mean? Well, anyways, if you guys have no questions, that's really all that I got. We did a review today. So far of what's taken place. I told you what I anticipate. We talked about retail bear flags on markets, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. We talked about retail bear flag patterns on a day where you anticipate higher pricing. Did you guys catch that? Remember, actually, before here, I'll go over this again. At the beginning, we talked about how Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it would have been better if we closed a lot lower, but it's fine. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, when they're consecutive, when they're in the same direction, not always, it's not guaranteed, but likely, a little bit more likely than not, Friday can be a reversal day. So if we anticipate, and you can know that on Thursday's close, by the way. Friday, we can anticipate an up day, right? So if we are anticipating a potential up day, right? But we get a retail flag pattern, we're getting a retail bearish idea in a market that should trade higher. Right? So that's kind of how you can anticipate retail is going to get slapped. They're getting formations that are opposed to what's supposed to happen on the daily time frame. Okay. We talked a little bit about the opening gap, which is going to be seen in regular, right? How today, note that upper level and the lower level, right? The discount end being respected here, the premium end being respected here, right? We talked about that. And that's it. Maybe some highs. Maybe we go back in the range. But if I had to pick a side for today, for the PM session, I'd be fairly bullish, even though Nasdaq's like the weakest index today. So I'll go ahead and cut it early. That way you guys can have a little bit more time to do whatever it is that you want to do, like read read a book, whatever it is, whatever it may be. I'm probably going to do the same. So y'all be good, be blessed, have an amazing weekend. Yeah, I'll see you on Monday. All right, don't do anything stupid this weekend.